Let's get a good stretch.
So there's no one in this episode that was in episode 1, because Arms and Noah are both scrubs, and I wasn't in until episode 2, and Kel's here.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Oh. And
Musical
Will's
expert.
here.
Yay.
And I'm sorry, it's actually Kel Senpai, I apologize. Sorry, Arms.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Fuck
welcome
arms.
to this episode where we're going to talk about everyone's favorite game, Mighty Number 9, and Splatoon, and Blast Ball.
Yeah!
But first, what we're playing, Kel Senpai.
Oh no. What am I playing? Last thing I played was a game of
God.
Monopoly on the PS Triple.
Quality game.
And
it wasn't All-Stars.
No, I played that too. That was after. That was coming next. But I played Monopoly, and then it was so garbage. I had to. I went in for a trade. Traded every property I owned to my brother for $1. Of course, accepted the trade, and then he traded me $1 for $1, and then I got bankrupt because I couldn't get myself. I couldn't mortgage anything I had except for one thing. Oh wait, no. I got sent to jail, and I was like, perfect. I only have $1 anyway. Then I rolled a double the next turn, got out of jail, and then got bankrupt. And I was like, great. And then I played All Stars, and I think I haven't played anything else because I'm too lazy to hook up my PS2. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will.
For the past 2 hours, I've been playing Pokemon Rumble World. Apart from that, Halo, Master Chief Collection, multiplayer. Yeah.
Duck, what are you playing?
I played a little game
Quack.
called J
Quack,
Stars.
quack. Ugh.
It's better than PlayStation All Stars.
Okay, yeah.
That's rude.
And better than Smash.
You ain't never played the game.
I've played PlayStation All
Played it
Stars.
before.
Not
Oh.
you.
I played
Him.
it before.
For how long?
I sat at
5
GameStop
minutes
for
the demo, and I picked
No.
Kratos.
sat at GameStop for 3 hours playing.
And I picked Kratos every match.
No, hell no.
I should do that.
Didn't-
Just go to
didn't-
GameStop and just sit there on their demo unit all day.
Could you walk up? Could you put in PlayStation All Stars for me? Got that demo in the back? I know you do.
They don't even have a
You never-
PS3 anymore. They have an Xbox One, a Vita, and a PS4.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
and there's a sign
No.
that says, if you want to try a 3DS, ask for assistance.
Oh boy. Wait, what else have you played? You were playing J Stars, Smash Bros.
No, I didn't play Smash Bros. I played Splatoon.
Oh, Splatoon.
I played Rocket... Actually, I didn't play Rocket League, rest in peace. And
No?
I played a little bit of Persona 4, but I told Arms I can't play that anymore, so... Sorry.
Why is that?
Because I told him I won't play it until he watches Clannad After Story.
God.
So, anyway. We're on to this week's Nintendo downloads, which I have to do for my first time. Be gentle, senpai. But anyway,
Oh, I can do it, but alright.
no. On Wii U, we have 2 Virtual Console games, Golden Sun: The Lost Age and
Yeah.
Onimusha Tactics. I think those are both Game Boy Advance games. Golden Sun's sequel to the original one, obviously. Been out in Europe and Japan for a while, so I guess it's cool for North America. On the eShop, there's Astral Breakers and Kung Fu Fights. 3DS got Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, The Fafnir Night, which is a retail game. Then on the eShop, Best of Arcade Games Brick Breaker, Best of Arcade Games Tetraminos, Japanese Rail Sim 3D Journey to Kyoto, Jewel Quest 4 Heritage, and Picross E6. I'd like to point out that Japanese Rail Sim game is $20, so
That's actually Rail Wars, man. You gotta buy that.
oh, okay, I will.
All the big anime TIDDIES is in there.
There's also an update for Pokemon Rumble U, or World,
No.
not U.
No.
Yes. Sorry. There's also a demo for a 3DS game that is Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden
Kit.
and two 3DS themes, Adder No Blade and Puzzles and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. Still no Thomas the Tank Engine or Hunter x Hunter. Hate Japan. A bunch of sales, but I'm not going to even talk about those. And this could be the only time we mention it because I think I'm the only one who's even able to play it. But there's a new Splatoon update. We'll talk about it next week when there's actually someone who I can talk about it with.
Ha.
Rep. So, first story, Game UK, basically the European GameStop, listed Telltale The Walking Dead Game of the Year Edition and Telltale The Walking Dead Season 2 coming to the Wii U, which is interesting.
Why?
Yeah, I
My
can't really
question
see
exactly.
why they, like, I could see if they launched, like, the Minecraft story mode, I could see that kind of thing launching on Wii U, but
Maybe.
are people really going to want to replay The Walking Dead? Because your choices matter. So even if they're planning on Season 3 being on the Wii U, then people would have to replay anyway. And why not just get it on PS4, PC, or Xbox One since you're...
The system you originally bought it
Yeah,
on.
your choices are already there. So...
If you haven't played it yet, you probably aren't gonna buy it.
Yeah,
And I don't know anyone who loves that game that much to play it, like, multiple times through.
I liked it a lot, but yeah, I
Okay.
don't think it's worth playing a second time. Well,
I've contemplated it, and I have it on the 360, but I don't
It
have a 360, so
came
I
with
can't
my
contemplate
Vita, so-
that much.
but yeah, I guess if you somehow haven't played it yet and you only have Nintendo consoles and have a terrible PC, it is a really good game. So you, if it is real, then yeah, go ahead. But other than that, probably no one's gonna get it. And speaking of stuff no one's gonna get by indie devs, Mighty Number 9 has been delayed to Q1 2016. Yay!
Never coming out, never coming out, never coming out, never coming out.
It's like Final Fantasy Versus 13.
And
It's now 15.
this delay was announced 2 days, I think, after the Red Ash Kickstarter failed. And
But that got picked up by a publisher,
yeah, the Kickstarter still failed.
so
There was a
game's being...
rumor about it being delayed. I think Game Informer accidentally leaked that it was being delayed like a week or so before they had officially announced that. And I think we actually talked about it last week. But then Concept was all like, "No, it's not going to be delayed. It's still on track for September." So obviously, yeah. And
Psych.
Tyler wanted just to mention, just because we talked about the release, Red Ash was terrible Kickstarter, really shady, not coming to Nintendo consoles, so we're not going to go too much into it. But it got a publisher, so yay.
But I got a publisher, and Mighty Number 9 is still garbage.
Ooh.
And I'm still remembering a certain editor-in-chief on BlazeKick who was super hyped about that game and dibbed it on PS4, and I can't wait to see that review.
Lots of people were super excited for that, and Infinite has basically killed the hype for it. But
Arms, where you at? You better review it. I want to see it.
Now, our next few stories are very useful because our amiibo expert is here this week.
Oh, damn it.
The first one is Nintendo America has announced 4 or 5 new amiibo. Well, okay, they've announced the release dates for Zero Suit Samus Olimar, Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario Ganondorf, and the Super Mario Bros. 30th Anniversary Mario Amiibo as releasing September 11th, and Duck Hunt, Rob, and Mr. Game & Watch releasing September 25th. Those last 3 will be exclusive to a retro bundle, which is exclusive to GameStop. So, rest in peace if you wanted one of them like me.
Which one did you want?
Game & Watch.
Oh, good thing I'm ordering mine from Japan, because
Well,
I
that's
want Robot,
probably
not
what I'm
Rob.
gonna do now.
I want Robot, not Rob.
Because I don't want to pay for 3 amiibo when I only actually wanted one of them.
I thought you wanted Duck Hunt, too.
Not really. Duck Hunt's the kind of thing that if I saw him in a store, I'd get him, but I'm not gonna like actually really want him.
But what if you see him in the store in the 3-pack? That means you're gonna want him and you're gonna get him.
But I'm gonna use this opportunity to talk about Nintendo and amiibo and how they need to calm down. You know, before we were talking about how there's not enough being made and all that stuff, and while that's still true, there's some being poorly stocked. There's 6 Mario amiibo, and amiibo have not been out for a full year yet.
Gross.
Calm down, Nintendo.
Mario.
But Mario, listen, where is my red, white, and blue Mario?
You can get a custom of that.
I don't want a custom.
And then also, Miyamoto has talked about how they wanted to make an R-Wing amiibo, and a later story we have, he's talking about how another producer wants to make a specific amiibo for their game, and it just seems really...
You know what?
They're gonna...
Next up needs to be the next gen Pokemon with an amiibo for every Pokemon.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if they made amiibo cards with every single Pokemon, like the Animal Crossing stuff.
I guess.
That actually seems kind of likely. Figures I really doubt that. And Europe also got release date for an amiibo, and that is Mewtwo, releasing October 23rd, just like that South American retailer said. Currently, there's no North American date, but lately amiibo have been like 1 month later in North America, so November 23rd-ish. Might
23rd-ish.
Well, I don't know. Might launch the same day as Star Fox, because these amiibo launched the same day as Super Mario Maker, and the last wave launched the same day as Splatoon, so who knows. A new Splatoon map was also found in the game data, specifically with the update. It's kind of a bridge that's under construction. I think it was also in that trailer Nintendo Japan posted. But we can see the full layout now. It looks weird. Different.
Different?
Well,
you sounded very unsure about that. I have
well,
to
like,
point out.
I always hate trying to judge things by like a picture, because it's always hard to tell, like, oh, this looks like it could be fun, but then it ends up not playing very well once you actually play it or something. So
That's why you buy it and find out.
Well, it's probably free unless this is like the first paid for, because I think they said Splatoon's gonna have free content until like October now or something.
Yeah.
So if it's already in the game, then it's probably still part of that free content. But speaking of free content, Squid Girl has a costume in Splatoon. Woo! Squid Girl, if you didn't
Wow.
know,
Too bad the anime is garbage.
no. Squid Girl is a slice of life comedy manga anime. Uh, the artist drew a bunch of Splatoon fan art. I guess Nintendo noticed. They did a couple collabs together, and then eventually that led to this. And there's tons of Squid Girl on r/Splatoon right now because of it. So
Great.
if you are unlike Kel and have good taste in anime, then you can play with the Squid Girl costume now.
Watch some good anime.
Our very own Tyler
I
binge
agree.
watched the entire Squid Girl series, both seasons and both OVAs in one day. So
Take
so
this from
sorry
someone
about
who
it.
doesn't major in watching fan service anime. I have good taste.
wait, are you talking about me or Tyler?
All you do, Tyler watches like
I don't-
Persona
I don't
and
watch
like Love Live,
I don't watch fan service anime.
Rail Wars, Monster Monsume, uh, How to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon, fan service,
I didn't-
Squid Girl, not fan service, but I think the costumes don't look good. I think the boy looks stupid because
Yeah, he
there was
does.
obviously not a squid boy in the show other than the kid that she played with who pretended to be squid, like a squid.
He should have had a
And
costume.
Squid Girl looks weird. Squid Girl looks weird because the way the Splatoon eyes are drawn in the face. Other than that, the costume looks fine, but the face with the costume throws me off, and I don't like it.
They should make costumes that are, like gender exclusive, or make it so like the boy was wearing the dress anyway. Because like Animal Crossing, you can wear skirts and stuff if you're a guy.
Yeah, but not now. Not in Splatoon. They're not ready for that, apparently.
Same devs.
They ain't ready. They ain't motivated.
Well, we're gonna have a dank break now. Dank, 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 dank.
Dank break.
Dank, 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 dank.
Wait, we having a dank break?
Yes. Hello, you dank memes and you Pepes and you other stuff. Nintendo of America posted this long survey about what you think about their social media channels. It was really long and has absolutely no benefit to you filling out because most of the questions were like, what do you look for in a brand? Select all that apply. And then you have to fill out companies that represent each one you applied. Clicked on, and yeah, it's really long and I gave up on it. Neither of these two even knew it happened, so they can't give their thoughts on it, but
I can. I can say that it's gonna make its way into the NX. Everybody votes, Connor. Everybody votes. They're gonna bring
that
back
channel
that
needs
app.
to come back. Yes, please.
Yes, yeah.
Nintendo,
It's
please.
a quality channel.
It
It's
is.
a very quality channel. It needs to come back because not only did I spend a total of 10 minutes in there answering, do I like ketchup or mustard? Let me tell you. I once spent 10 minutes in there. 10 minutes. How does 10 minutes sound? Sounds like a blast because it was.
That would have been a
In
great
nature.
segue if our next thing was Blast Ball, but it's not.
MLG.
Our next thing is Sakurai wrote in his weekly Famitsu column how
Great.
he's upset about people in reviews complaining about extra content. And at first I was like, really? Like, is he talking about Smash Tower type thing? Like, is he really getting upset? That's content in the game. People have a right to be upset to that. But no, what he's talking about is specifically he uses Fire Emblem Fates, where apparently there's a pointing system which allows you to pet characters and raise their affinity levels. And
Baby.
yeah, that kind of thing I don't really see why you would complain about. Like,
Yeah. 'Cause
that's just sort of a fun little addition. Doesn't
too bad Cordelia's not in that one.
doesn't negatively affect the game. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing for reviews to complain about. I think I've mentioned that kind of thing in reviews before, but I've never like taken points off for it.
Eh. Hey, if I was reviewing Smash Bros, I'd be like, hey, I'm taking points off for these King K. Rool DLC garbage that you.
But you would have reviewed
That-
it way before that was announced.
Well, it'd be a current review,
Oh,
a timely review. Hey, think about it. Then again, he probably released those. There's a reason. He should be more upset at the fact that his characters got leaked the day before they were announced. But then again, I'm pretty sure his revenge were those costumes that he released
then
for the
again,
Mii
I'm pretty sure
fighters
that's
and all
his
that.
fault for putting them in a patch the day before for some reason. Knowing people data mine. Why would he do that?
Because Sakurai isn't the smartest person on the
All of
planet.
Nintendo does that. We mentioned earlier Splatoon had a map leaked through that, and all the weapons we know about because they're all on the game disc. Like, why does Nintendo keep doing that? They did that with all
This
the
wouldn't
Pokemon too.
This wouldn't happen if Iwata was in control.
Yes,
He's
it
still here.
did.
Rest in peace, Iwata.
There hasn't been a Pokemon
Shit,
game
rest in peace,
since
Iwata.
he died.
Rip!
Okay, and
Rip, fam.
well, Nintendo, being the playful little chaps they are, released a Legend of Zelda webcomic called The Legend of Zelda Link's Hijinks. And it's
Oh,
Link playing
Tells Brooklyn.
it's Link playing a 3DS, and then Tattle's all like, "Yo, the moon's about to crash into the Earth," and then Link's all like, "God damn it!" And then Tattle's all like, "Quick, play the Song of Time to go back 3 days." And he's like, "Wait, can I infinitely live if I just keep doing this?" And Tattle's all like, "Yeah, I guess." And then he just keeps doing that and playing 3DS. It's like, I'm like, quality comic. NOA,
I've
release
seen
the Splatoon manga
better-
instead, please.
I've seen better one-offs.
It's not even
of
a one-off.
characters.
It's supposed to
Well,
be a
I'm sure they're not
series.
going to continue off. Well,
It says to be continued.
Oh God.
no.
Yeah,
No!
you can go look at it. It's linked right there. You can open that.
You don't.
The URL
be
even says
continued.
Legend of Zelda Link's Hijinks Comic Part 1.
So what I'm gonna assume is that to be continued means next episode will happen. He'll be playing a Wii U and then be like, "Oh yeah, end of the webcomic song, play it," and then rewind like so he lives forever. That's all. I
Probably.
guess that's what's gonna
No,
happen.
it's gonna be like the spoiler or the teaser for the next game.
Yeah, it turns out these are just leading
just-
up to Zelda use announcement or something. Well-
And it's all him breaking the fourth wall. That's all the game is.
Yeah.
No.
Like Zelda plays a 3DS. Zelda plays a Wii U. Zelda plays.
Well, in Pokemon X and Y, if you choose the girl, she has a 3DS. So,
They all have Wii U's in their room and like they've
yeah, they've always
had
had
Nintendo consoles. Yeah.
They've always had
They've
the
always
console,
had, like, a
but they've
Nintendo
never
console in
had
their
the
room.
console that you can play the game on. X and Y, she actually has 3DS.
But the boy don't.
Nope. It's sexist.
Well, the Pokédex is supposed to be the
Yeah.
handheld anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
So technically, they always got it.
It's Nintendo being weird. And speaking of Zelda release dates, Triforce Heroes releases October 23rd. Hey, look, that date again. In Europe and North America. So, if you want to play Style Savvy Zelda
Ish.
Edition,
You see it?
ish.
Mm.
If you want to play Style
Ish.
Savvy...
November-ish. November 23rd.
Be quiet, you. If you want to play Triforce or Style Savvy Zelda edition. Here you go. And now, Kel Senpai's favorite game,
No. What?
Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Yeah!
There's an interview with the, I believe, producer of the game, Kensuke Tanabe. Um,
My
Not sure
boy.
who. Oh, it was with US Gamer, and
My boy.
basically he said, well, he's kind of been surprised with the backlash. He says, from a development perspective, I've been putting a lot of emphasis into gameplay and the way the game feels when you play it, because we could totally tell that from like the 45-second trailer. But yeah,
All that matters is Blast Ball anyway.
and yeah, but Rocket League's better.
Yep.
But anyway, he also...
You don't know that because
Yes.
you've never played it. You never played Blast Ball.
US Gamer asks, what happens if I'm playing on the new 3DS and I take my Samus amiibo and tap into the 3DS? And then he replies, so while I do have a few ideas, I can't quite tell you at this time since they're not all finalized, but there are some ideas coming. If possible at all, it would be nice to have an amiibo of the mech. And this is what I was talking about earlier of Nintendo needing to calm down with the amiibo. No one's ever going to use that mech amiibo again outside of this game. Besides, like, Hyrule Warriors type thing where all amiibo work but do nothing specific.
No, watch the mech amiibo tie-in with like Star Fox or something like that.
The mech
It'll be
becomes...
like you get a mech R-wing, and it's like, no, like I don't want a Sam. It'd be like the R-wing kind of design different.
Mech becomes a playable character in Smash, so his amiibo works on that too. And then,
No.
and then his reveal trailer is like, you've all wanted a new character from the Metroid series. We heard you, so we've added one. Here you go, it's the mech!
And it's like a Mii fighter. Like it's basically your Mii just getting in a mech, and you're just like, let's do this. And its final smash as it kicks a blast ball at you, or shoots a blast ball at you. It's like it's like Final Smash goes in front of the screen like Snake from Brawl and starts shooting the ball and bouncing it off of characters on the screen.
I actually
to
want
do
this
damage.
now.
No! I take my idea out. I no longer want this on the table. Thanks.
What, you
I'm just
don't-
gonna sweep that.
What, you don't want...
No, I don't want mech.
You don't
in
want to
there.
propose any ideas I like? Is that what this is?
No, I just don't want him in Smash. Let's sweep this off the table real quick. No. It's
Okay,
not Blast Ball. It's not that important. Let's just do this.
We'll move on then. No. Super Mario
No.
Maker. Yes.
Damn it.
And not like what Nintendo UK originally said of hundreds of levels and then 100 levels and then many levels. It's now been confirmed to contain about 60 pre-made levels, including the Facebook Hackathon level, the 4 levels from the Nintendo World Championship, and a level by the Rayman creator Michael Ancel. Ancel? I don't know how to pronounce that. It's French.
Angel?
Ancel.
You're from Canada. You're
I
French.
can't speak French.
Oh, rude.
Bonjour,
Racist.
je m'appelle Conor.
That's French! He can speak
Yeah, that's all I
French.
can
It's a
speak.
Miracle.
Come see, come
still
saw.
French.
Je suis fort.
That was loud.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, that's kind of cool that the Rayman creator is making a level. Wonder if Yuji Naka or some other famous platformer dude is going to create a level.
Eh,
I mean,
maybe. Naughty Dog employees. Make a Crash Bandicoot ass level.
well, you can only do 2D in Crash Bandicoot. I guess the bonus rooms were 2D, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Gex.
at least if Yuji Naka made one, since it's forced to be 2D, since we've seen he can't make 3D levels very well.
Eh.
That I don't know.
I mean, they could pull like some random. They could pull the Gex creator from Gex 1, which is a side scroller, and put some level in there. I'm sure they won't get the rights to half the thing Gex says because all of his like quotes are TV references and movie references and name dropping celebrities.
They can just
But
get like someone random, like the creator of Call of Duty.
no, he wouldn't say anything like that. He'd just name drop celebrity.
No,
Maybe
I
he'd
mean they
name
could
drop like
get someone random, not a platformer person, to make a level, but like the creator of Call of Duty or the creator of
no,
Mirror's
ew,
Edge. I
no.
don't know.
Because then they're going to be like, here's the creator of Mother, and I'll be like, oh, sweet, and I'll be playing it, and all of a sudden, Flying Man, ah! And he'll dive at me, and I'll be like, that's a bad enemy, and that's terrible. That's worse than Flying Man in 3DS version of Smash. Let's not do this.
Rip.
Like, he'll just randomly, what is it? Flying Man will just jump at you, and I'll be like, no, I'm done with this game. Turn it off. Take the disc out. I'm going to go return this now. This amiibo's gross. Bye. And like ship it out.
He doesn't have an amiibo.
No, I'm talking about like the Mario amiibo that I've been seeing all over the dang place. The one where it's like 8-bit, and I'm like, I'm sorry. It's not like a flat thing, like a flat like flat 2D sprite. It's like actually like 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gross, and I don't like it. It looks like a pile of garbage, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's worse, that or the Skylander what is it, Donkey Kong and Bowser amiibo? Amiibo Skylander. What are they? I don't know which one they are.
They're called Amiibo Skylanders. They're both.
Amiibo Landers.
And
I'm the expert, I know this.
our last topic. On the Xbox One, a game called Rare Replay came out. And normally we wouldn't talk about this kind of thing. But
Will's here.
Well,
That's
okay.
That's not
yeah,
just
I'm
why.
an advocate for Xbox, so we'll just say
we were planning this before we knew Will was going to be on. But
yeah.
Currently, if you go onto the Wii U eShop and go to the Virtual Console section, go to Nintendo 64, you will see Paper Mario, Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario 64, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, Mario Tennis, and Ocarina of Time. That's 6 games. On the Xbox One's Rare Replay, you can get Killer Instinct Gold, Jet Force Gemini, Blast Corps, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and Perfect Dark. That's 7.
Oh, that one difference.
That one difference was made in a day. The Wii U's had 3 years to get more N64 games. Sure, N64
That
games.
difference is buying a company, which they did, and then they drove the company's name into the ground and are trying to resurrect said company from the ground by re-releasing games that didn't originally release on the Xbox One.
Viva Pinata was an Xbox game.
Well, that's different. I'm talking about all the N64 games in like GoldenEye and Jet Force Gemini and Banjo-Kazooie
GoldenEye's not
and
actually on it.
Banjo-Tooie.
Because Activision owns GoldenEye's game rights now. But the thing here wasn't specifically about comparing the two, but it was more Nintendo's terrible handling of the Wii U Virtual Console. So, for some reason, when the Wii switched to Wii U, instead of porting every single Wii eShop game to the Wii U, they restarted and slowly released new games every week. And some weeks don't have any. This week we have 2 Game Boy Advance games, which Game Boy Advance wasn't a console on the Wii, so that's nice. But I just it's really weird how there's so many games you can't actually buy on the Wii U eShop. And they keep trying to bring new consoles like a Game Boy Advance, DS, and Wii, but all of them die. Like, we had the first 3 games in North America, and then nothing until Kirby Return to Dreamland last week. DS rarely gets anything. I think Game Boy Advance is kind of common, but I I just think it was really poor handling on their part. There was Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, which was really good. Donkey
Yeah.
Kong 64 wasn't on the Wii either, so that's nice because I think
Yeah.
that's actually kind of expensive. Plus, it's a pain getting the expansion thing for the N64. So they have done some good things, but for the most part, like Majora's Mask, that's on the Wii. Smash Bros. 64, Mario Party 2. I don't know if Mario Bros. 2 or 3 are on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going off the top of my head. I don't have a list of Wii U's.
The other thing is, when people are like, "Oh yeah, I love the N64," they normally list off like, Majora's Mask. They list off,
Whoa!
dang it, Ocarina of Time. And then they go to the obvious ones. They go to Mario Party 2. There's no reason why that shouldn't be on there, other than you gotta have 3 other people with you to play it because it's not online. Nintendo, put that online. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But other than that, their immediate go-tos are like, oh yeah, when I played N64, I was playing GoldenEye. I was playing what is it? Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. Outside of actual Mario 64 and Mario Kart and the Zelda franchise, everyone's like Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Conquer,
Star Fox
GoldenEye.
64.
Yeah, Star
Which
Fox
isn't
64,
there.
that too, which isn't there. Well, there isn't Star Fox Zero a retelling of Star Fox 64? Because pretty
Well,
much
it's a
every
retelling
game.
of the original
And
game, but
there's
Star
also
Fox.
Star Fox 64 for the 3DS.
Yeah, but they had similar
Yeah, but you gotta put
situations.
it. You might as well put it on the Wii U. You might as well port it to the Wii U.
Like
There's
the Super Mario
point.
Bros. All-Star thing released on Wii, and we still had Mario Bros. Lost Levels, Mario 2, and Mario 3.
Yeah.
And the Kirby collection, all of those except for the Game Boy games are on the Wii. So they can still do that kind of thing.
I honestly don't know what's taking so long.
Plus,
I guess to do that, to go out of their way. I don't think it's out of their way. I think it's just they're being lazy about it. Because there's obviously people who want to play old-fashioned games on their Wii U. They don't want to be playing a WiiWare title on the big screen or have to be playing on the gamepad. And I don't know if they updated it from when they're like, oh yeah, you can play Wii games, but on the gamepad, but with your Wiimote and
yeah, you still have to do that.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Update it. People want this. This is a product that people want,
And
that people would pay for.
I think it might have been Iwata himself. It was someone high up at Nintendo commented on why they're so slow at releasing, because they have to recheck the entire game. But I don't think they need to check the entire game. Are they actually getting people to 100% every single game that they aim to release? Because Xenoblade Chronicles just released on the European eShop, and that would be huge. And the Wii games aren't even technically emulators; they run in the Wii mode. So
Yeah.
So for Wii games, I don't really see why they can't just put every single Wii game on it. Sure, as Kel already pointed out, it's if you don't already own the Wii game, then there's not really a point because you have to play with the Wiimote and Nunchuck anyway, and it's running in Wii mode, so you don't have the Miiverse stuff. So
it just boils down to the fact that, in my eyes, Nintendo's being lazy. They're like, oh yeah, we have to 100% check through an entire N64 game. The only time they've ever had to actually do that, outside of like, a few other games, I know they had to check through Wind Waker a little bit because someone was like, I'm gonna play the demo and I'm gonna do like the cheats. That's a physical release, but that's off the GameCube. But they were like, oh yeah, we checked this. This is good. And then someone did like the glitch. I'm sure they're worried about people doing the glitches and like being like, oh yeah, this is wow, I'm gonna do this glitch. It's gonna be so cool. Like you don't need to check for that. People might actually buy the game just to do that
Yeah,
because that's what they did as a kid. They're like, oh yeah, this is so cool. This is a trick I did as a kid. And then they go to attempt it and it doesn't work. And then it's just like, oh yeah, get out of here, kid. Your childhood doesn't matter to me because we patched this and we took our time to do it. And it's like, okay, well, they'll find out about it and they won't buy it, and then it'll just sit there on the eShop and no one will buy it outside of people who've never played the game before, which,
then
which is the current generation that we live in. But
there's
go
also
figure.
the fact that, as I mentioned, Game Boy Advanced and DS games are on the eShop. However, these haven't been edited at all to allow for any kind of multiplayer functionality. And that
Oh,
includes games like Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart DS, and Mario Party Advance. Those three games are all on the Wii U eShop, and have zero way of multiplayer at all. At least like games like New Super Mario Bros, the multiplayer is just kind of an extra bonus thing. But those games, like who wants to play Mario Kart solo, especially when Mario Kart 8 is on the same console?
you mentioned that, but like, what is it? This morning, actually, around 5 a.m., I called my brother. He's playing Mega Man Battle Network on the Wii U or whatever, and he was going through his items or his chips or something like that and found things that were not in the original game, like like Nintendo claims they go through and they like change everything. Well, they didn't go through on that Battle Network game, and there was still cussing in it. They added stuff from the original game that wasn't in it. He went through his bag and he's like, this stuff is not even supposed to be here. Like, I've never had this as a kid. It was not in the physical port. Uh, and I'm gonna show you why. He turns on his camera and like it's broken. Like he's like, I'm gonna fight these two people, and literally pulls out, I believe his base. He shoots the screen and kills both enemies and destroys half of the battlefield so they can no longer move into the spaces. And I'm like, oh, there's probably a reason those weren't in the game when it released when you were a kid. And I was like, so wait, Nintendo put these in so you had them?
I
Like
think that's
they
Capcom
went
though.
out.
I think Nintendo said they don't deal with the third party games at all. It's entirely up to the third party.
Yeah.
That's still a little bit questionable, seeing how the game is like
Yeah, that
rated
is.
like E10 and it still made it on there with a bunch of cuss words in it and a bunch of content that wasn't originally in it.
Well, the games get
But like,
re-rated by the ESRB to go in the eShop, so they would have seen the cussing and I guess still decided it's worth E10 plus.
even though it wasn't in the original version because it got taken out because they're like, oh yeah, we're worried that we want the game to be rated E, but we want everyone to be able to play it, but there's some cussing in it, so we'll take it out. But it's, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo's just kind of being lazy with the whole ordeal of let's put N64 games on there. Let's put Wii games on there, but let's like restrict it to the gamepad.
I really
And
hope.
like and when you're on the gamepad, you have to use like Wiimote
Yeah,
with like accessory. It's not necessary. It's things that don't need to be there. Uh
I can see some
just
games like the WarioWare game, except that's not even on there. That makes sense because you need to hold the Wii remote in different positions. Uh,
yeah.
the Wii Sports games, except again they're not on there. Like the games
Yeah.
that are on there, Mario Galaxy 2 could be played with the gamepad. Metroid Prime Trilogy could be played with the gamepad. Punch Out could be played with the gamepad. Kirby Return to Dreamland could be played with the gamepad. So, and even in other territories, Xenoblade could be played with the gamepad. Sin and Punishment could be played with the gamepad. Pandora's Tower could be played with the gamepad. I think there was another one. But, like, from what I can tell, all of them can be played with the gamepad, but they don't allow it.
Yeah. My other thing is, weren't they planning on putting like DS games
Yeah, there's DS games.
on the Wii U?
Yeah,
Are there?
I mentioned that Mario Kart
Which
DS.
ones?
Super Mario 64
Mario Kart
DS.
DS is on there?
Yeah, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, uh, New Super Mario Bros., Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I think one of the Brain Age or Big Brain Academy games, and I think that's it. Oh, Yoshi Touch and Go or whatever it's called. I think that's
So
it.
how close are they? Are like, is the like touchscreen the gamepad
Well,
and
it's
your
the
TV?
DS games are actually kind of cool because they actually you can like set up what screen setup you want most. So you can have like both screens appear on both the gamepad and the TV, or you could have the
Oh,
TV be the top screen, gamepad be bottom. You could have both screens sideways if the game like requires the DS to be held sideways, like some do. So they actually do put work into the DS games, but you still can't do multiplayer or online or anything with them.
so wait, what you're saying? They have Mario 64 DS
And Mario 64.
on the Wii U
Yep.
and Mario 64,
Yep.
but they don't have Mario 64 like the game from N64
Yeah, it's there.
on the.
Mario 64.
Oh, it's there?
Yeah, both are there.
Oh, okay. I was about to be like, wait, how do you have one with not the other one?
Oh, I think Star Fox Command is also there. One of the Star Fox DS games.
Then I don't know what Nintendo was actually doing. They need to like make up their mind. They need to start viewing who's like looking at these games, who's like going through them.
I'm
I need to know.
guessing someone in Japan because I think every Virtual
Well,
Consoles game's released there. Where actually, I don't know if Xenoblade has released there yet. So it might be like Europe's localization team, and the Treehouse can deal with it if they want to.
yeah. Like, I still want to know who was like, yo, Sakurai, put Kid Icarus Uprising on the 3DS, please. Even though it's clearly a Wii game.
Well,
Like 3DS, like Kid Icarus Uprising is clearly a 3D or is clearly a Wii game, but they were like, oh, 3DS is coming out, port it there, and then there you go. There's now a plastic black stand in your box to make the player's hands comfortable. Like, Nintendo, you're making questionable decisions here. I don't know
yeah.
who was like, yo, Sakurai, do this. Yo, take your time on that N64 title that we're trying to port to the Wii U. We'll get to it in due time, my friend. Just take time off. Play it when you want. I'm sure they're like 20% through half the N64 titles, and the other people are like, I feel like playing it today. So, we'll get it eventually, but,
Yeah.
they're just taking their time. It's sad when there's more GG games than N64 titles on Wii U.
There's probably
That's
more
how you know it's
GG
sad.
games than any console on Wii U.
That's because GG loves people, and they
GG's a
stay on top
quality
of their
series.
company. Yeah, quality series, secretly run by Noah outside of Italy. Like,
Yeah.
that's GG series. That's the company. It's run by Noah. No one can tell me different. But no, all I have to say about the entire, like, we missing a ton of in 64 games, and like classic games in general, just anything that we're missing, like Nintendo really needs to step their game up. Stop trying to push this buy amiibos thing. It's going to die down really hard if they continue to push it as much as they're going to push it,
Yeah, it's
which
gonna crash and burn.
clearly they're focusing on amiibo more than they're focusing on, say, eShop titles. Yeah, just look at Skylanders. They're like, oh yeah, we can copy and paste this formula like 4 times. They're like on their 5th run. It's wearing down. People are not buying the figures. I've seen someone who's bought every wave 1, every wave 2, and then start on wave 3 was like, I don't think I'm gonna buy all the figures because there's no point. They're just gonna make another series. And he did it anyway. Wave 4, he said, no, I'm done. Because I saw it coming. I was like, oh yeah, it's not going to happen. And then it happened. And then he bought the figures he wanted, which were like 4 of them. And then they were like, oh yeah, here's a Donkey Kong and Bowser and Amiibo Landers. And then clearly there's going to be a Skylanders 5. And he was just like, those look bad. And I'm done. My name is D's Nuts, and I'm out. And and I'm sitting here like, okay.
Exactly.
I actually thought it was Arms.
I was
at
like,
first.
no, it's
I knew it
D's
was
Nuts,
Marquis.
and
Yeah.
he has all of it, and I'm just like, I knew it was gonna happen. After Giants, I was like, it's just gonna continue. And that's what Nintendo's doing. They're like, oh yeah, we've seen the success of Disney Infinity because they were able to
Whoa!
they were able to move on, trying so hard, they were able to move on from strictly Disney to Marvel. And now they're moving on from strictly Marvel to Star Wars. Yeah, they're going to continue doing it. It's the same thing. Of course, their pattern's going to be more predictable. They can still release other franchises. Skylanders, they can just shit out a design in 5 minutes and be like, oh, this is Skylander. Boom! And like just throw it into a 3D printer and like there it is. And they're like, prototype. Boom! Copy and paste that and make like 16 billion. Like, and every kid's gonna buy it because it's a reissue of some character who was from season 1 or series 1. That's like what Nintendo's doing right now. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna reissue like Wii Fit Trainer. We don't really need to release content. We need to release figures because our new market is Amiibo. Amiibo is like, they're like, Amiibo is our future. And then that's why they're like, oh, people hate Blast Ball. But if we mention the fact that Amiibos have, there are Amiibo support within Blast Ball, they're going to be like, people are going to buy Blast Ball and they're going to lose themselves over this Amiibo support. Like, no one's going to lose themselves over Amiibo support. You're just putting Amiibos in games. That's all you're doing. You're putting little bits of content into bigger content that people may or may not want in terms of Metroid Federation Force. No one really wants that outside of me, and that's for Blast Ball. And they're like, oh yeah, Amiibo support. And then, you know, they're like, Samus is going to be in it. And like trying to sell people on like, oh yeah, there's a new IP, but not. But Samus is in it. Amiibos, like, don't, and clearly it's not just like a one, it's not like, oh yeah, it's just that game. Nintendo wouldn't go out of their way to release an NFC or whatever it is, the Amiibo reader, the $20 Amiibo reader for people who don't have the new 3DS, for the Amiibo cards and all that. Like, oh, you can't afford a new 3DS because you don't feel like it? Just spend $20. Get this. The only thing you'll be missing out on, essentially, is the nub. That's it. That's a Circle Pad Pro, which they still haven't patched to work with, like, the new games because they want you to go buy a new 3DS. Like, they're making these really questionable decisions all around the board to get your money, and it's actually really clever how they're doing it because, of course, the people who know are like, we're not going to do that. And the people who don't know are like, soccer moms and buying stuff for their kids, and they're like, oh, this is like this is a USB port. I never would have known. Like moms who don't even know what a USB port is. They're like, oh, this is where you plug this in? Like, what is this base and why does my kid want it? And then the kid's like, I want it because so I can read amiibos. And she goes, what's an amiibo? And he's like, what you bought me for Christmas last year. And she's like, what? I bought you an amiibo? That's ridiculous. That was $13. Like, that's the whole thing. That's their entire future pretty much is based on amiibo, and it's getting a little bit, and by little bit I mean a ridiculous lot out of hand. It needs to calm down.
Within a year.
Six Marios within a year. It hasn't even been the 1 year anniversary. I don't think has it. Has it been the 1 year anniversary of like amiibos? November 21st. Oh boy, but which they're pretty much all they can do now is pander to fans' requests and also make them mad by not doing that. Like, oh yeah, we want Mewtwo because Melee, we want Rui because it's Melee, and then we want Roy because Melee. Well, Rui because I don't know why they wanted Ryu from Street Fighter. That's a weird pick. But Mewtwo and Roy, they're like, Melee, we like Project M, and they're like, okay, we'll pander to you, whatever. And they're like, King K. Rool, they're like, no, you're just go somewhere. We don't care. Hey, we want this as an amiibo. No, go somewhere. We want, like, Lucas. Okay, there he is. Like, in before Fox, in before Ice Climber somehow makes it because the 3DS can now suddenly handle it, but only on new 3DS. Somehow. Just, it's going to happen. They're going to be like, oh, we replaced them with Duck Hunt. But here we go. Here's Ice Climbers. They're back. Better than ever. They work on the 3DS. DLC. Here's Wolf. Snake. Pretty sure he's not making it back. Sorry to hurt all the fans out there who are like, oh man, I can't wait for Snake to make it back. He's not making it back. Sorry. He's never returning from that trip. Pokemon Trainer, you're out of luck. Squirtle, Ivysaur, nah, son. But,
Hey, what about Pichu?
because, they're not... That's a joke. No one picks Pichu unless they're trying to joke. Get out of here. Get out of here. Ivysaur is the worst Pokemon. Pichu is the worst melee character. All right. That's all I gotta say about that. But if people pander enough, if people are like, I gotta pander to Nintendo and be like, give me Ivysaur and Pichu, they'll be like, oh, clearly there's a fan base for this, and Project M or whatever. I keep saying Project Other M. It's Project M. Project M. Yeah, we gotta do it. And then they do it, and they're like, let's make an. The moment they do it, they're like, Amiibo in works. Confirmed, and people are like, oh my god, Amiibo, and it's like you're pandering to them, and they're going to continue to make Amiibo, and Amiibo are just going to be the next like 20 years.
Like I said, the next generation of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's going to be the next 20 years, man.
840 Amiibos just made over every Pokemon.
Yay.
There's going to be a lot of Amiibo. They're going to be like 20 years from now, Gen 1 will be completely amiiboed out. And, of course, you're going to have those kids, like, scratching their head, what's Gen 1? And then, you're going to have those people who are, like, 30 years old, like, kid, let me tell you what Gen 1 is. And they snatch you by the collar of your shirt, and they're like, let me tell you about Raichu that you don't know about because Ash is still 11 and Pikachu is still Pikachu. And they just shove them away, and it's like, sit down, kid. And it's going to be something like that. And it'd be like, what's Eradicate? I only know Bidoof from my childhood. Like, how do you not know Eradicate? It's going to be ridiculous. And then they're going to be like, well, there's Amiibo of it. Yeah, like Amiibo cards at least, but eventually they're gonna be, oh, people want Amiibos of Raticate because Joey's Rattata, or Joey's Rattata because they want Rattata Amiibo because of Joey's Rattata, and it's gonna be like, no one asked for that. And they're like, well, here it is, like, ship it out the door, like, GameStop exclusive. And you know, Nintendo, I just feel like Nintendo's, this is like Nintendo podcast, but let me diss Nintendo a minute because I'm not even a host on here, but Nintendo might not ever learn that just because you slap Amiibo on it doesn't mean you need to. Doesn't mean like it's going to sell and it's going to make you money.
Well,
Like
Oh,
there's
God.
no reason to go do that.
I think there's
The thing-
already evidence for that. Like Xenoblade 3D, I don't think sold that well. Of course, that could also be Shulk was impossible and still kind of is impossible to find. Uh, Chibi Robo, I really doubt is going to sell that well, and it even
Yeah.
has its own amiibo. Uh,
It's weird.
I'm trying to think of upcoming amiibo games. Fire Emblem Fates would have sold without amiibo. Codename Steam didn't sell; it had amiibo.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, exactly. They were like, oh, new IP, codename Steam. You can play Fire Emblem characters in it. You know, the hardest set to find because everyone's like husbando waifuing that game like to the end of time, and then they're like super hard to find, and they're like, but there's amiibo support for Fire Emblem characters, but you know, that game couldn't sell without advertising the fact that one, the pre-order bonus was a Majora's Mask thing. That's one. That's problem one. You're not selling a game by itself. You're selling a game. The pre-order bonus is a Majora's Mask pin. Has nothing to do with the game. Not anything to do with the amiibo support, which is strictly Fire Emblem mainly. Because I haven't heard of anybody talk about anything like, oh yeah, there's Fire Emblem support. I can play Ike or something like that. No one says that. No one's like, oh yeah, because no one has Ike and no one plays that game. Not that I know. I know like one person, and that's like Dan. Dan's the only person I know who was like, yeah! And I'm like, all right. And then he stopped tweeting about the game, and I was like, just like everybody else. Like, you were like riding it for a week more, and everyone else was done with it, and then you were done with it. And I'm like, the game didn't look that good. I had a 3DS, and I was like, game didn't look that good. And
I
they're
never got
pushing
it.
Amiibo too much. You never got it?
Nope. I have 3DS. Never was interested in Codename Steam.
I put $5 on it because I wanted the pin. There's your proof right there. And what would have happened was I would have got the pin, came back in like the next day, returned the game without opening it. And they're like, oh, it's still sealed? And I'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, here you go. What do you want, store credit or cash or whatever you paid for it? And I'd be like, wasn't the game he wanted or I wanted. And then there you go. Like, the game, it's all like amiibo and like repping old titles, but they're not even trying to push out older titles now. They're just trying to make new IPs and slap amiibo support on it and be like, amiibos are coming out. Buy our $13 figures with bad quality issues. Like, their face is looking like Play-Doh.
Well, I think we should
Fire Emblem characters.
move on to the questions now. It's been going on for almost 20 minutes. So, first question from Wolfstorm LP. What games do you want as launch titles for the NX? I'm kind of assuming he means series, because I don't know, unless he wants us to talk about ports. The only port I really want is Pokken Tournament, just because I think it's a little late for Wii U port now. But, I don't know, as a launch title, something big, not like New Super Mario Bros. U, but something like that people will actually want, like Mario World type game, where it's still one of, like, even, how long after, when did that come out, 91? Still regarded as like one of the best SNES games, even one of the best Mario games.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't care what franchise it is, but just something like that obviously not like one of the best games of all time because that's kind of a hard thing to force yourself to make, but just something like really good.
I have a specific franchise in mind
Yoshi.
because of recent... What? Sit down. Uh, uh, because of recent releases. I'd like an Animal Crossing game, please, that I can play on the Wii U, or I'm sorry, the NX, and has mic support. You know, something that only City Folk did, which you had to buy a specific mic to go with, which you had to yell at pretty much. And something, an Animal Crossing game that is an Animal Crossing game and not Fortune Street or designing people's homes. Although the character designer in that game, great. You can pick your skin tone and your eyes right off the bat.
Yeah.
Put that in the NX version. That's a good idea. Being able to pick your eyes, skin tone, your mouth, mouth doesn't matter. It's just your eye and your hair. That's the other thing. Yeah, I'd rather not have to answer questions, get off the train, and look like on stone half the time, or like
Dang it,
I've got
restart.
the meme face. Like there's countless times I'm like, well, Rossetti's not showing up. Reset, let's redo this. Or the one time I tricked my brother into playing Animal Crossing for the first time ever for New Leaf. He played it, answered the questions. I didn't tell him the questions mattered, and he got off the train, and he's like, why do I look like I'm stoned? And I'm like, well, the questions matter. He goes, turn off the game, and I'm like, well, there you go. Like, why would you just put the Happy Home Designer face editor in the NX version of Animal Crossing? Give me an actual Animal Crossing, not Fortune Street, not Happy Home Designer, although I'm still like looking forward to that game. An actual Animal Crossing game for the NX with a mic, like a headset. Even if it's a headset that plugs into like if there's a gamepad on it or like plugs into the controller, whatever. Give me that. I would be into that. And also, don't stop releasing DLC. I played City Folk until they stopped releasing DLC. Played a little bit after that, and I was like, there's no reason for me to keep logging on other than talk to my favorite villagers. That's it.
Yeah.
There was no reason. And then there was also DLC that it didn't release, like the Pikmin, the potted Pikmin, where you click it and it makes the Pikmin noises, and there's like 3 Pikmin sticking out of a plant pot. Give me that. That's what I want. Blue Falcon house item that you click it and it does the power up noise. Give me that. Keep it going. That's what I want on NX at launch. Or, put Star Fox Zero on there. But they're not going to do that.
That'd be a port
Star
because
Fox
that's coming out this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Zelda U would be
but
more likely of a Wii U game.
You say port, but if they added multiplayer, because I don't know if they even...
Nope.
Multiplayer was a thing yet.
Nope.
Have they?
They've said it's not.
Online multiplayer isn't a thing?
No online multiplayer, and I'm not sure about local. I don't think there's local either, though.
Dropped! Dropped! Done! Done. Nintendo, I'm out of here.
And,
Wait,
I'm
for
just gonna
what?
go sell
And,
all my amiibos.
Will, what do you want
What?
as a launch title for the NX?
I don't even know. To be perfectly honest. Monster Hunter.
Okay. X is about to come out on 3DS, so it might be a little too quick, but...
Well, it depends, because I know, like, if it's a handheld system, or have they talked about what kind of...
No, but the Metroid producer and Square Enix kind of both heavily implied it's a console.
Okay, well, if that's the case, a more, multiplayer-friendly Monster Hunter. Potentially, like, the MMO-esque ones they have going on in the eastern area.
Okay. And One from Will's fellow undaunted co-host, BMac.
Oh.
Gross.
What is your opinion on the Majin Buu Dimensions of Dragon Ball figure?
Have you guys seen this thing?
Nope.
No.
This is mainly a question, I'm sure, directed at me because I sent it to her as a joke, and it's honest to God one of the most hideous things I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'll put a
Uh
picture on the screen
oh,
if you're watching on YouTube.
it's a statue, aka a statue, and it's gross is what it is. It's a statue, and it it doesn't move its arms. It doesn't look like he can move his arms or anything, but you can swap his head, and his head swaps to something completely gross that belongs on Kid Buu, which
Oh, God.
is extremely skinnier than Majin Buu. I've put a link in the chat for everyone who hasn't seen it, and I personally think it's absolutely disgusting. And for the price of 60 or what is it, around $70, not worth the price at all.
Yeah.
You guys can go ahead now that you've seen what it
Hold
looks
on.
like, and you've seen the alternate head on the body. Tell me the problem with this figure and the fact that Majin Buu, who's not Kid Buu or Super Buu, has this Kid Buu / Super Buu looking head on its body, and anyone
gotta
who
get
knows
it.
Majin Buu knows he's pretty big, and he's kind of like he's there, and that head doesn't fit.
Portion. Perfect. I have to get it. It's something to get,
$70.
to put
No,
down
it's
and
not.
to laugh at. If you're ever in a bad mood, look at it and just start laughing your ass off. I mean, yeah.
So, next question from Disturbed One, I guess. I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. Any modes you think Splatoon should have in their game? I don't know. Like, it's kind of hard. I'm not really a mode designer, and like, all I can really think of is like a here's all these waves of enemies, kill them with your teammates. That's all I can really think of, but
No.
I don't really want that.
That's
So a mode where you walk around with a sword instead of guns and you have to kill people instead of splat.
give me a free for all.
Oh, free for all, yeah, that would be cool.
Give me a free for all, because that means everyone's color is completely different. It's essentially you're playing the rainbow, and it's going to be really ridiculous. And that's what I want. I want it to be something extremely. Give me not a huge map, but a relatively large map.
Kelp Dome.
With kelp dome, yeah, but different, but way bigger. And everyone picks the gun they like. Sniper rifles. It'd be just like Starhawk Online if you've ever played that, which no one ever has except for me and these nuts. And yeah, it's perfect. I would love to see. I'd love to see everyone be a different color. Everyone free for all. Also, where's my lobbies at? I know they're coming, but
They are out.
hurry up.
They were in the new update.
Oh, they're out finally?
Yeah.
You can get. I might get a Wii
Kel's
U
like,
now.
I gotta get a Wii U now.
Well, I'm sold because there's lobbies on Splatoon, which is what I was waiting for, and of course Earthbound's there, and you mentioned Crystal Shards was there, and that's my favorite N64 game.
I was about to get. Well, I had a Wii U, but GameStop refurbished screwed me up, so I don't have a Wii U anymore.
How much does GameStop refurbished cost?
It was like $220, I think.
I think that's
Yeah.
about what the Nintendo refurbished ones are too, and
So I
they're
think
sure.
that's why. It was eight
They
gig.
did they take it back or what?
Yeah, well, I got my money back.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
should
okay.
go on the Nintendo site and see how much their refurbished ones are, because I think it's about that price.
I'm gonna have to
Did
wait
you
a
buy a
while.
white or black Wii
Yeah,
U?
white, white.
White? You could have just bought the Skylanders bundle for like $20 more. New. New. Don't me. New. New. And then sold the Skylanders because people like exclusive Skylanders. There you go. That's profit. That's money back. That's money back.
And
And you don't want to play Skylanders.
from my dank co-host at ArmsMXZ, we have what's your favorite Wii game? I'm gonna have to be really generic here and say Twilight Princess.
D game?
Wii.
Or a remake wouldn't count,
Huh.
would it?
He doesn't specify that, so as long as it's on the Wii, it's fine.
Oh, Kame.
Huh? I think
That
more.
IGN
come on.
box stuff.
You have to admit it is significantly better on the Wii.
Yeah, I'm not sure versus the PS3 version, but I've heard it's way
I'd
better
rather
on the
play on
PS2.
PS. I'd rather play on the PS3 because I don't like motion controls in any sort of game.
I'd rather play
At
on
all.
Wii to
that-
get
that
that
game-
IGN box.
That game in general is motion control.
Yeah, I think it works really well with motion control.
Well, I want it on PS3 because it's I would want that game on PS3 because it's digital, and I would not have to deal with the IGN box. Sorry, don't rush out your cover art with an IGN logo faded into the back. But I'm gonna have to go with Water Warfare by Sunsoft. And everyone who doesn't know what that is, it's a first-person shooter where your guns are, of course, water guns, and all the maps are based around like you recharge your guns at like fountains and water fountains and like pools and like rivers.
So that part's kind of like Mario Sunshine, but like FPS, and you're not cleaning
Yes.
stuff.
No, and there are power-ups like there's one where you can like I think it reduces the amount of damage you take, which the amount of damage you take is the amount of water your shirt is. So basically, you don't want to get wet. So they have a raincoat, which is essentially an overshield if you want to talk Halo terms for Will, so he knows what I'm saying.
Thank you, Kel.
There's a water bazooka. I believe there's shotgun. There's a sniper. Grenades are water balloons, of course. It's a great game. It was $8. I even played the challenge mode. It was good. Water Warfare, people.
Do you think they should
Get with it.
re-release that on like Wii U or Steam or PS4 or something?
If they release that on PS4, whatever console they re-release it on, and then they put the online back up, I'm on. Honestly, I got made fun of for loving Water Warfare because they're like, that's a kiddie game. I only played Dynasty Warriors and beat up the same enemies 16 billion times. But
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I love Water Warfare. It's ridiculous. It's a
Sounds
first
fun.
person. Yeah, it's a first person water gun shooter. That's why when I heard Splatoon, I was like, that sounds like Water Warfare. And then it was like third person. I was like, it's like Starhawk and Water Warfare. I'm so into it. I'm so into it. And then I was just like, oh no, lobby. I'm not into it. I'm not into it. But like Water Warfare, I was that. Since I didn't want to pick Animal Crossing City Folk, Water Warfare was my jam. And what was not my jam was Grill Off with Old Tran. I'm completely sorry. I want my coins back.
That was 10 out of 10 game. Best game on Wii.
I played it for 5 minutes, did this like chicken arm motion, dropped the turkey, and like got like 3 points, and was like, well, want my points back, Nintendo? And they're like, here's a survey. I was like, that's not what I want. But yeah, Water Warfare. That's my pick.
And our final question, which we could have made a topic, I guess, if we wanted to. Where do you see Nintendo in 20 years? Hopefully in a better position than they are now, and I don't mean that in sales wise. I mean that in not making amiibo for every damn game they release.
Will,
What?
Where do you see
where do you
Nintendo
see
in 20 years? Releasing Mario 5,
Huh.
Zelda.
Releasing their 1001st Mario amiibo.
We should see how many that is. If it's 6 a year in 20
every
years,
other
how many will it be?
every other franchise doesn't have an amiibo, just Mario. Like they're gonna stop and just say, "Hey, we have a Mario for every occasion."
Yeah, birthday Mario. Santa
DSM
Claus
Mario? Why not?
Flood Mario, Shadow
There we go.
Mario, Bowser Jr. Mario from Mario Sunshine.
Dr.
Bondage
Mario again.
Where I see Nintendo in 20 years, I want you to put the sound clip over this when I say it. You ready, Connor?
Yes.
Amiibo.
Amiibo.
Get out of here,
Yeah.
Arms.
Hey.
That's all I gotta say about
system
that.
anymore.
Hey, we haven't.
Just
Nintendo
put-
is just one amiibo.
I haven't used that sound
Just-
clip yet since I've been editing.
I know, and I want you to use it specifically for me saying
Amiibo.
Amiibo. So every time I say Amiibo, I want
No,
it
that's too
to
much
play
work, please.
3 times. Well, you gotta go back. I'm timestamping it right now. 3 times.
No, please.
Please do it. Please do it.
Well, anyway, plugs time. Yay. School Live, episode
Yeah.
5. And yes, well, I did check. It's live, not live. Food Wars 18.
Ugh.
I have a plug.
Oh, do you? Read my
Yeah,
Crest
I do.
site review, and then go listen to whatever Kel's plug is.
I have a plug also.
Then let Will go first. Go ahead.
Not Undaunted.
Did you say not Undaunted? Did you just diss your own podcast?
He just his own podcast. That's blasphemy. It's ridiculous. Ami has just posted. This is my plug. Hoshi no Kirby series Meta Knight 16-inch statue. I do not agree with. Also call it statue. Provisional pre-order. It is for all those kiddos out there who love Meta Knight and love playing them. $295.47.
Woohoo!
And pre-orders are now closed, and it was only open for 10 minutes. And
What?
the release date is April 2016. Get good. That's my plug. Get good.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe and rate us on iTunes. I don't know if we've actually got another review since we read those 2 quality reviews from Mr. I think it was Duckberg.
I think it was Charles Duckberg.
Yeah, that's it, Charles Duckberg. Visit and like us on Facebook. That's BlazeKick Media. Follow us on Twitter. BlazeKick Tweet. 1 Bro Beyond. Oddity of Fates. And visit blazekick.com for
Read some quality reviews.
weekly
Like our
anime/visual novel reviews. Sudden random outburst of news posts from Gemini and BMAC for no reason. And that's about it.
And a good burger review coming out soon.
Oh. Okay.
And
Oh,
like
oh.
20 movie reviews.
Apparently. From someone who is
Hold
on
on.
Undaunted.
Movie reviews with no ratings.
Oh,
No, yeah. Wreck-It Ralph, who has no ratings. Movie reviews. But stay tuned to Good Burger with the rating, because I am the quality inspector and the main movie reviewer
oh,
on BlazeKick.
okay.
Quote and print that. Bro Beyond. Zetus Lapidus Jafar.
And that's all for this
Poured in my
week. So, see you guys next week. Maybe Noah will be back. Arms won't, but maybe Noah.
Hopefully Noah returns from Italy. Peace out.
That's not where he is.
That's where he's at. So, like I was saying, Naruto is bad, and
Does anyone
Undaunted is
here
dead.
even watch Naruto?
Yeah,
But
technically. I've seen 88 episodes out of 220, and I've read the first, like 100 chapters of Shippuden for no reason. Because they're like,
uh,
read a book in high school, and I was like, here's manga. Oh, all you have is Naruto? That's fine. It's better than the Bleach you got on this shelf. Okay,
Hey, I
And then
heard
I'd sit in
Bleach
the
is
library.
quality.
I heard Bleach anime ended because it clearly wasn't.
Hey, looking at the Shonen
Hey,
Jump rankings, Bleach is totally quality.
that's because Bleach is so Hot Topic.
Bleach is not quality. It's
Along,
constantly like the second or worst rated manga each week. I don't know why it's still running.
I don't know. All I read is My Hero Academia, JoJo's, and One Punch Man, because that's in Orange, but Orange isn't shown. But the other ones, they're all qual, and I read all those. Ordered that book, man.
I also read all those except I'm behind on JoJo, so rip.
Well, everyone's behind on JoJo's, except for the creator, who hasn't drawn them yet.
Wrecked. Okay. Okay.
let's let's fill this like Naruto
No, we can.
in Fairy Tail
Okay. Wrecked. Hold
in
on.
One Piece.
no, Fairy Tail's not really filler though.
Yeah, right. It's just bad arcs with bad characters.
Isn't like everything that has uses the arc system technically filler?
No,
Okay.
Yes.
Filler's not any like.
Then again, Nisekoi doesn't use the arc system yet. It's like 99% filler.
That's because you can't really advance that plot without making it extremely obvious, I'm sure. Because how do you forget your childhood friend?
Well,
Exactly.
I don't.
now it's not really filler because he's like, Yui, get out of here. Marika, get out of here. You're both dead to me now.
Oh damn.
And that's like, what? Is this ending? They still have another year. What?
No, they don't have another year.
Marika's dead to him?